All right, things have changed since Sunday. Um, it's looking down to me because we obviously have no SMT. Russell, everything's broken down. Nasdaq took out the low, so there's no reason to long. The only thing that I'd be looking for is some sort of short setup, unless obviously we create some sort of SMT, but that's not going to happen until later, since the open is very soon in 10, 13 minutes. Um, Quickly looking at the flows for a bias, they were definitely selling calls all day yesterday, and then they bought some puts. We've already had the move down for that. Maybe they'll buy that um, back up here in the open or something. We'll see. Tide was the tide was bullish, but it was following price for the SPY. We've been seeing Nasdaq be the play for the flow. So yesterday, puts were rising into the move down and then continued to trickle down after we had the PM consolidation. But calls did come up there, but not a lot of volume. So maybe that isn't telling. Um, Calls coming down. It doesn't look like they've taken profit on their calls. If they were super long. So that that is a little telling. But they also didn't take profit on all of their puts they bought yesterday. They took profit. They've been selling calls and then they started buying puts. So okay. So yeah, Nasdaq could offer a long. I'll keep my mind open for that as we zoom into a smaller time frame. Russell, very clearly bearish. They've been buying puts all day. That's where I got messed up on a trade there. Um, Clearly a reversal day for the London session into Asia into London. Clear SMT. So yeah, we have a bearish SMT here, which gave us the short sell that you could have caught if you were awake in the middle of the night. um, but yeah, this has definitely played out already. As for a target for the downside, yeah, I'd expect the Dow to continue lower and hit that weekly area at least. Everyone's taking out the low, so the only thing we could really go off of is like the super high time frame. See if there's some sort of SMT going on. We're at the bottom of that wedge looking area. Russell is basically fully filled the inefficiency there on the weekly. But yeah, I'd expect the Dow to probably keep heading lower. Seems like there's not going to be a real crazy opportunity here today, so oh wait, let's go back and look at Nasdaq and ES. So yeah, Nasdaq, it is showing some strength just with that low, but there are no clear. Let's see, maybe hourly. Okay, if it's gonna load. I mean, Russell's showing a little bit of strength here too. So I'd look for a bullish SMT to form, maybe into the open. YM starts to sell off, and then you know Nasdaq holds. Other than that, I'd look for a high to be taken for me to actually look for a short. But if we zoom into a smaller time frame, maybe we can catch a 2022 model, um, possibly. We're gonna have to really zoom in though. I don't like that. All right. Yeah, there's just really nothing, man. I would need a high to be taken. Okay, so how would that happen? Um, I would look for some sort of high to be taken, and then obviously the bearish SMT with everything else. So, for example, NASDAQ, let's say YM takes this high, nobody else has taken it, boom, get short on a 2022 model and just ride for that. It is seeming like these are like equal lows here possibly, and we could get along though. So doesn't seem like there may be a setup to, it seems like there could be no setup for me today. So just keeping that in mind, not gonna force a trade. But as for levels, I mean, we do have relative equal highs here, very cleanly, very clean relative equal highs there. Um, so that's an area of interest for me. Do I think that that's going to happen with an SMT? Probably not. But yeah, we did have the SMT here, so I'm just going to note that just for reference so I don't forget it. So yeah, SMT there. And then we had, yeah, everything had the SMT there. Just going to mark it all out. This has been the same short setup basically all last week and yesterday evening. Um, so yeah, ES is just tapping that new week opening gap. I really do just think this keeps heading lower, at least for now, on YM and ES, probably Russell too. This high is pretty significant. Let's zoom in here to this range. Something is happening here, you know. Oops. All right, so into here, YM's making higher highs. So yeah, we had another SMT there. But yeah, it's just pretty tricky there. And then oh, everyone made the new low. So yeah, I mean that's just not something I would trade. Not my setup. Um, quickly just before market opens, let's quickly mark out these higher time frame levels. We've got a daily efficiency here very clearly, and that lines up with those relative equal highs on YM. We've got daily inefficiency on everything. Daily, and then on NASDAQ. Okay, we're just doing this on everything. All right, cool. So we got those daily levels. Let's look at the 4. We do have a fair value gap being formed in the next 30 minutes. But technically not yet. So yeah, we should probably have something on the 1 hour. Looks like Russell basically rebalanced that entire thing. And on YM, we still have the inefficiency here. 1 hour. On ES, we're forming one. We're forming one on everybody. That's been filled, and that's been rebalanced. We do have one back up here at the highs. So, cool. Um, so yeah, just gonna look for some sort of movement, maybe above this high, possibly. Just gonna look for one of the indices to do that, and that could be a short setup. Uh, I'd look for a short on whichever indice that's relevant to the move. So oddly, Nasdaq is being strong here. Kind of odd. So I would expect Nasdaq to probably give a move down. It may be coming down to these lows here finally. Like we deleted that those relative equal that SMT there at the lows. It did give a nice move yesterday, but now we've got SMT, bearish SMT. I think logically we're going to take out some lows here. So I'm looking for the short. Quickly looking at SPY, we do have that big gap. We've almost filled that on Qs, but we do have those relative equal lows down here very clearly, and old relative equal highs that did get taken there though, so that's significant. So yeah, we'd look for these lows on the higher time frame. The Dow Jones has this level here, it's already gapping below that. Russell still just has some inefficiencies to fill. But yeah, we do have the relative equal lows. We did take those already. So yeah, I don't know. I think we could go up, we could go down, but we gotta trade the chart. And there's nothing yet for a long for me, but there are things that could happen for getting short. So I'll be looking for some sort of SMT above these highs, and other than that, I won't be taking a trade until if it's too late into the day, I won't be trading. So adios. That's the plan.